Filling up the couch right now is the one and only, the legend, that is Headhunterz. How you been, man?
As you can see, still alive.
You are.
Not very visible, but still here.
Before we start this off, we gotta hand something to you.
Okay.
Because you made it to the #1 spot in the Q-Dance Hardstyle Top 100 yet again.
Really?
Yes. There you go, sir. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. I honestly, I really try to shut myself off emotionally a little bit from this process because, as a lot of people know, this meant a lot for me. This whole process of making this. When I released it, that was the moment where I said I have to let it go. And for me, this kind of chapter in my life also combined with stopping to perform. I had to give that a closing, and I didn't want to let that kind of what would happen here today depend on how I would feel about my creation. And sorry.
So this one is special.
But yeah, of course, like it's I couldn't wish for a better kind of closing and a more beautiful compliment to get, even, you know, after all of the beautiful experience I had making this in the first place. And I didn't expect it. I think a lot of people will laugh at me maybe for saying that, but because a lot of people have been like telling me, and I've never had so many beautiful messages after releasing the track. I didn't expect it because I felt that it wasn't necessarily the easiest piece of music. It wasn't necessarily the track that was played the most. I think that should also, you know, be I should say that because I definitely, if you look at, you know, who gets the most support, it was definitely not this, but obviously it did something with some people.
Well, it made it extra special, especially with you not DJing anymore, of course. And even May said it last year, that last year when you took the #1 spot, he said, like, yeah, this is the last time you're gonna get it, and here we are.
Sorry, mate. My whole life revolves around being in the studio right now, so there's literally nothing that means more to me. And to get this recognition for what I think, it's really a kind of a bold statement, but what I think is, the best creation I've made in my career, in my experience, or at least the one I've put the most passion in. Yeah.
You're not the only one thinking that. #1. There it is.
Thank you, thank you, everyone. I'm speechless.
How has that process of being in the studio and not being on stage anymore, how has that been for you? What has that brought you?
So far, it's been really good. I really noticed that I really needed this to take this step back. Honestly, we're almost a year further now, and to me, it still feels very new. That was also one of the reasons why I decided to, for example, not perform at Climax, because it really felt like I wasn't ready. And
did they ask you?
Yeah.
All right.
I took this decision and I wanted to follow through. I wanted to really give myself that space. And I feel that when it comes to Climax, that regardless if I was going to perform there or not, the memories are there. I already have my legacy with Climax, and I wanted to also respect my own decision and give myself the space that I need, and who knows what's gonna come after that. It still feels sometimes like on Saturday when I go to the market in the morning, it still feels
like, oh, I have to do this because tonight
it still feels like kind of new or something, you know? And it's like I'm catching up on some things that I missed all that time being away from home. And, but at the same time, I'm really, you know, I'm really discovering again that yes, making music is my everything, because I'm in the studio like always, and I love it. I love it so much.
What are we getting out of Headhunterz in the studio 24 hours a day. What's going on?
This track is kind of a testimony that despite maybe getting the best out of myself, I can sometimes also be really in my own way. Having already such a long-lasting career behind me and kind of trying to push the boundaries and for yourself every time. It's nice and I believe in it. I want to keep doing it, but at the same time, it's also this mountain that becomes bigger and bigger to actually surpass yourself again and again. I just wanted to become a master of what I do, and that is music production in the first place. That is, my big passion, and that's where I set my goals. But at some point, it becomes really hard to So this year, right now, I'm kind of getting used to, like, I have this blank page again after working on this. I'm kind of trying to get comfortable with that because I've always been really scared of like the clean slate, the blank page. And I'm trying to become a bit more playful again, like to maybe make like a bunch of ideas instead of, putting everything I have in one thing, to actually make it more accessible for myself to create and be playful. Because it's kind of a danger to lose that in time, So that's where I'm at right now, and I'll see where it goes in the coming year. But I think the key is to not put too much pressure on myself and to really try to keep the joy in making music as well. The big question when I got to the end point was like, was it worth it? And oh man, it was so worth it, man. It was so worth it every step of the way.
2024 has obviously been a good year for you, musically as well as personal. What can we expect in 2025?
I'm in the process of just playing around and making really, seeing where it'll lead me. I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that at this point in my career, that it feels good for me to try to contribute something with my music. It would, like, there's a lot of artists who are in the position right now that they should be releasing music very frequently. I prefer to actually do something that adds something to what I've already done. And that sometimes takes time. It just takes time. Don't expect too much quantity. I mean, it's never been like that. I've never been someone who releases a lot.
But we can expect music.
Yeah, and of course, like, I'm still working with Joram.
Talking about that. Project 1. When are we gonna get that? No, I don't want to put you on the spot. It's the question everybody. Oh, there's another question though that everybody's asking. Actually, they asked me to ask you is, don't you miss it sometimes? Just being on the stage, have that crowd in front of you.
I do, but I think it will. That phase still has to come. Like I said, I'm still getting. It's all so new still. A year is like.
Like you said.
It's gone by like this. And I feel like I'm still processing stuff before I'll allow myself to miss that part again. Because honestly, for the last few years of my career before I stopped performing, the part that. The negative part about it, like the being away, the traveling, all those things, that kind of outweighed the positive for me. Up to this day, it still feels like a big relief, not having to do that. Every weekend, I'm still grateful that I don't have to step on a plane right now. And the door is like not fully closed yet. We'll see. So that also helps. I mean, for a person like Dov who retired, it's so much more final. So I can follow my heart, and so kind of that helps in not being too sentimental.
You don't have to say anything. I want to congratulate you on claiming that #1 spot on the Q-Dance Hardstyle Top 100. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. There you have it. Headhunterz, #1.
Thank you.